a little strange, I hope, for all of you. When I was growing up, I did not live with mom and dad. Mom and dad didn't live together. I lived with either mom or I lived with grandma for most of my life. And I went back and forth. So most of my life was going back and forth between mom and grandma. Make sense so far? How many of you are with me? Okay. Most of you, so that's okay. Now, the thing is, mom was more spiritual. Okay, how many of you know what it means to be spiritual? What does it mean to be spiritual? You just told me you knew.
Aww.
Okay, here's what it means to be spiritual. Having spirit. Okay, I'm going to define spiritual as having your own ideas about God. Okay, so my mom had her own ideas about God for most of my childhood. And my grandma was, and here's a big word, okay, it's irreligious. Can you say that? Irreligious. Now, what does it mean to be irreligious? It means to not be religious and to not like religion. So my grandma was irreligious. She did not like religion. And my mom was spiritual. She had her own ideas about God. So I grew up and I never knew anything about Jesus. I didn't know anything about the Bible. I didn't know anything about the Seventh-day Adventist Church. That is what we would call a tragedy. How many of you know what a tragedy is? Okay, what's a tragedy? You just raised your hand. What's a tragedy, Martha? When something's tragic. That's a good answer. It's something that was a little sad and not good. Okay, so my childhood, in that sense, was a tragedy. Okay, but it's not all bad. I had a very good childhood, so don't think it was all bad. But I never knew God. Here's the catch. Okay, listen. You with me? I knew about God, but I did not know God. Did you catch that? There's a difference. I knew about Him, but I did not know Him. Okay? Now, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I began to search for God when I was 18. Now, who's the oldest one here? Besides Terry. I know he's the oldest. Besides Terry, Martha, you're the oldest? And how old are you? Tell everybody. 11 years old. Okay. So, I was 7 years older than you when I started my search. I was 18. Okay? Now, Jeremy, we'll have you read from there what it says. Okay?
You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart.
You know that one? Praise the Lord for that. Okay, so I know this verse to be true by experience. I searched for God with all my heart. And I can tell you today, I did find Him. Now, when did I start searching for God? 18, okay? Now, I searched